So if you're one of these people that knows everything about every team player, the stats, and all the members of your favorite sports game team, and you never miss one of their games, but you don't know anything about how economics works, you don't have time to read a history book, you don't have the time to educate yourself and cultivate some critical thinking skills, and instead of listening to the Newsmax and the OAN and the fucking assholes on professional liars on social media and Fox News, it's propaganda, and it has been propaganda ever since Rush Limbaugh. Fascism works. Fascism plays the long game. These people who are, the Heritage Foundation, they're all delusional religious nuts, like the evangelical lunatics, right? Evangelicals, holy Christ, they believe this ancient mythology is real. Millions of people believe in ancient mythology, and ancient superstitious mythology is actually real. You might as well say Zeus and Apollo and the god of Mars, the Roman god of war, and my favorite, of course, is uh, the Greek goddess of partying. I can't remember her name. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to pause this and I'll look it up on the Google machine because we have the entirety of human knowledge in our pocket. Hold on. Well, I do believe I can't look on this phone because then this will stop recording and I don't have to start again and stitch shit together. I already had to stitch two together so far. This is gonna be a long one, kids, and I hope you listen to this, and I hope you actually feel uncomfortable by being challenged by having your previously held delusions challenged. Now, if you feel uncomfortable by what somebody's telling you, that it challenges your previously held beliefs, and you feel uncomfortable, don't retreat. Do the intellectually mature thing, and evaluate the evidence that was presented to you. Look at the sources. But you don't have time for that. You got a football game to go to, don't you? See? Now come on. Come on. You got to know how the economy works. Because if all these retards that voted for Trump, if they knew how economics works and the different aspects of it, yes, it's some work, but goddamn, democracy is not a spectator sport. It's some work, and it requires work and attentiveness and being well informed with quality information. And here's the simple truth of it. This is truth. It's going to make people feel uncomfortable, but truth is uncomfortable often. Truth is complicated. Americans want simple answers. That's why God did it. Oh, global warming, why question God's plan? There was an ozone hole back in the 80s due to these sprays, spray deodorants and stuff, hydrofluorocarbons. And they were eating a huge hole in the ozone layer. And if it was today, nothing would be done about it. And all the animals on Earth would soon be dead of skin cancer within a couple of decades. Because the ozone layer is what protects us from the sun's ultraviolet and all the particles and shit coming at us from the sun, and space itself is just a hazard. We take our atmosphere for granted and we're destroying it like idiots because, hey, let's go to Walmart and get ourselves a new Bills shirt, right? So that we can wear that to the fucking game. I'm not against sports, don't get me wrong. I like to watch basketball, but it's not important. Sports is not important. Sports is not important. It's not important. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's a distraction, but it's not important. Don't devote your life to it, retards. Fucking, read history, learn about how fascism works, because that's what's going on. They lie. And here's the thing, everything that they tell you, I've noticed, because I do arm myself with facts. I am capable of critical thinking, and I used to be a journalist. And I know how to it's not easy, but you have to, because there's psychological operations been played on Americans for decades. Psyops. I mean, it's not a new thing. Like I said, religion was the original propaganda. Influencing the public is as old as Methuselah, who wasn't a real person and didn't live that old if he was. These are mythologies. Zeus is a mythology. Jesus Christ is a mythology, basically an allegory for the rebirth of the sun on the winter solstice. But it gets changed around over time. Remember that when you were in kindergarten or first grade? Teacher had you sit in a circle. She whispered something into the first child's ear, and by the time it came around, it was completely different. Now, if it happens that quickly with, in a small group of people, think about the things that have changed over centuries with millions of people, you know, saying these things to each other. It gets way out of whack. None of this stuff is fucking real. But there are fictions. A nation is a fiction. Our money is a fiction. Religion and God is a fiction. And, these are important fictions because they do allow us as a species to cooperate in large numbers. Humans are a rare species that we can cooperate in large numbers and are flexible about it. Now, you look at bees and ants, they're all working with a common goal. The queen has these scouts go out and find the pollen and the flowers. The scouts come back and tell the queen the direction and the distance of these flowers. And they do so by doing a little dance. The information is conveyed to the queen. The worker bees come, and she does that dance to the worker bees, and they know exactly where to get them, how far away, in which direction. So, but now, they're cooperating in large numbers, but they're not flexible. You don't have a bee or an ant say, hey, let's overthrow the queen and start a republic. They're not flexible. They just do their thing. It's not that they're robots or they're automatons. They are alive and thinking and feeling like we think ourselves so great. Another thing I blame that damn Bible for is this environmental destruction, because right in the beginning, right, first of all, it starts out with man blaming woman for all his problems, right? She's the one that did the fucking eating of the apple. Blame the women. Chargé de femme, Anyways, and then it says, before that crap, it says that man shall have dominion over the earth and all things that crawleth and flieth upon it. Oh yeah, fuck that shit. That is another bullshit story as an excuse for people to just rape and extract and say, oh, animals, they're not at all alive. But I have been around animals all my life, and I will tell you that they are just like us. We're all the same. We all focus on our differences, but again, chimpanzees, humans, 98% the same. Where is the difference, really? Amount of hair on us? We have preferences and favorite colors, but those are nothing. Those are trivialities. We have slightly different ways of thinking, but in general, our brains all operate the same manner. And we all have the most important things in common. The survival skills, the survival instincts, fear, fight or flight, that sort of thing. Always assessing a threat to the the survival of each organism. None of us wants to die, right? We try like hell not to die, right? Dying is a terrible thing, but it's part of nature. It's recycling material and DNA. It recycles energy, and then the mushrooms grow in it and convert it into nutritious soil. That's what I'm going to do too, by the way. If I have the opportunity, if I can do this, if it's at all possible, if I know and I'm told I'm going to, I'm in the hospital and I got something and it's terminal, well, I'm going to leave the hospital and I'm going to go up into the wilderness, find a place without any of these goddamn houses, people taking over everything like cancer tumors, and get eaten by a bear, right? Because, hey, I've taken from nature all my life. Billions and billions of other animals have gone through the act of being eaten, the experience of being eaten by another animal. After taking so much from nature my entire life, it's the least I can do. Really. And it's only fair. It's only right. I don't want any anesthetic. I'm not a pussy. I'll go out into the mountain, and there's one south of here nobody lives on, and there are, like, wolves and shit up there, wildcats and bears and stuff. So hopefully, I mean, whatever wants to eat me, I'll let them, and I'll experience the same thing all the other animals have to go through that have been eaten. Uh, I mean, really, think about it. For another example, when I sit down for a meal, I don't give thanks to the imaginary friend in the sky. I give thanks and appreciation to the animals that died and gave their lives and probably suffered at the hands of assholes who stuck screwdrivers in them to shut them up when the cow's baby has been taken away for immediately after it's born to be used as it's just awful, you know. Veal, and the mama, the cow cries, and she has her son, her child taken away from her immediately. So she's a little upset about it. And what do these workers do? They don't want to hear that shit. They hear it all the time. They, stab it with a screwdriver or whatever, hit him over the head. You know that shit happens because these people are fucking assholes. Anybody that can work in a rendering plant, fucking, you got to be a psychopath. You got to be a psychopath to be able to do that sort of thing, killing animals and slaughtering them. Ugh, Christ Almighty, you know. It's we're just assholes, the human race, but it's the Western, and now we've Westernized the whole world. So, used to be the Eastern philosophies, and people were more respectful of nature. The Native Americans, look, they had precursor to agriculture. They grew a few things, but they were hunter gatherers, and they had democracies, though. They were democracies, and they were matriarchies, and they survived, and they lived. They didn't have to have goddamn fucking cars and all this other crap. Cars are foisted upon us to make money. I mean, I see all these people. I have a car, yes, I do, and I'm like everybody else. You live in this paradigm. It's hard to not do it, especially when you have difficulty walking at times. I had Guillain-Barré and my legs never really fully recovered. Point is, everybody's got a car. They're taking the car down to the corner store 2 blocks away. What the fuck? Walk down there, please. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's cold. Well, blame the assholes from that we nice and warm in Africa, and some fuckers said, "Hey, we got fire now. Let's go up north in the cold and the snow." Yeah, if I could go back in time and strangle those motherfuckers' necks, I would. Don't leave here. You'll only regret it, because we'll end up destroying the planet and going to war endlessly, killing each other. So, men have been throwing rocks at each other for thousands of years. They're still doing it, except the rocks are made of metal and they have combustible propulsion behind them. They're rocks. Metal comes from rocks. These bullets are made of metal, and the metal has come from the earth and is found in rocks. So it's just that they can go farther and faster than the old style rock throwing. But a missile is just a big, elaborate fucking rock being thrown at your fucking enemy. And that's why men should not be in these positions of power. I'm not anti-man. Now these fucking idiots, you MAGA freaks, will seize on it. Anti-man! I shouldn't be. I used to be one. Point is, not anti-man, but they shouldn't be in power. I used to have testosterone. I know what it's like. It's rivalry. It's all this and chest thumping, and men should not be in positions of power. Sandra Day O'Connor was I believe, a Supreme Court justice in the state of Texas, or the federal. I can't recall at the moment. Doesn't matter. Sandra Day O'Connor was a highly respected conservative justice, and she said, now she was a conservative. She was a Teddy Roosevelt conservative, though. That's if I could qualify myself as a Teddy Roosevelt conservative. Hey, national parks, right? I have loved those, especially in Arizona. I was in those all the time. Happy to pay the fee to get out into the beauty of nature and the mesas and canyons. Oh my Lord, it's just wish I could do it again. Probably won't be able to, but they're probably going to take me away, once this shit gets ramped up to get the other undesirables out. Trannies, undesirables, Used to be the Jews, but LGBTQ, I guess, is the new Jew. So, sorry, Jews, I'm not anti-Semitic, you fucking freaks. And the Israeli government are a bunch of assholes. But I have I hate to say it's stereotype, but I like Jewish people. I like fucking, you know, Mel Brooks. I mean, Young Frankenstein. Yeah, they're great. Hey, if you did have people who are a certain particular people who are in charge of the banking and the entertaining and everything, it should probably be the Jews, right? Because they're doing a damn good job of it. Why fuck with it, right? Why get upset if they are, which I'm not saying they are, but if you had to have a group of people running all this stuff, the entertainment and all that stuff, let it be the Jews, man. They're good at it. Whatever. They're great at it. And I fucking love it, man. Oy vey, I'm overklimped over here. So, just please, you seize on shit. Oh, they said something about um um uh uh, Israeli government, which objectively they're fucking assholes and they've been engaged in genocide. Okay, that's what it is. There's no question about it. That's what it is. It's what it is, right? Just by denying certain access to areas for aid groups. I mean, come on. You know that they want them fucking people dead so they can take over the land, just like Trump wants to take over Greenland and Canada and all these other places. So these are evil motherfuckers we're dealing with. Evil is not an external force that makes us do things. Evil is behavior. Behavior, self-centeredness, like Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand, wow. If she could see how America has become the embodiment of her awful, degenerate philosophy of selfishness, she would be aghast. She would freak out because before she died, she realized her mistake. She realized that was not so great when she had to live off of Social Security. Socialism! Socialism is not communism. Find out what these things are, assholes, before you start fucking, tossing the word around. Most of you don't know what the fucking shit means. Socialists. I don't know what a socialist is, you retards. Now, you probably don't even know this fact, that there are two types of capitalism practiced in the world. One is called consumer protection capitalism. The other is free market capitalism, where they, have fewer regulations and can get away with ripping people off if they can get away with it. Guess which one America isn't? We are not the consumer protection form of capitalism. That is Europe. And that's why, that's another reason why the Republicans, they hate the Europeans, because they take care of their fucking people. They invest in their public. We pay taxes for what? Even the stuff we paid taxes for that's been allocated for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, for example, already allocated, gone. We don't have that option now if we get ripped off by financial institutions. So, you fucking people vote Republican, you're idiots. You fall for the faith and family bullshit routine. That's what you're doing. You're falling for that. That's taking precedence. A mythology and a delusion is taking precedence over objective reality and critical thinking skills. Wake the fuck up. Sorry. Come get me. You want to take me away, you fucking ice douchebags, you thugs, you fucking illiterate, uneducated pieces of bully boy crap. If you want to come and get me, hey, I don't give a shit. You know why? Because at 60 years old, I have done more in just the first 30 years of my life than most people have done in 100 years of life or could possibly imagine. I have done a lot of shit. I've been in a lot of pain. I almost died a few times. So you try to pull my guts out while I'm still alive. You try to pull my fingernails out. Go ahead. I'll laugh at you. I promise you. I will fucking laugh at you the whole time. I might be crying, in pain, but I'll be laughing at you because you know what? You guys are the real assholes. All right? Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for sitting through it if you did. And if you're one of those mega people, just save your fucking breath and your typing fingers by blah, 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 typing the same old fucking antagonistic bullshit to me as you do everybody else who tells you the truth, you fucking retards. So enjoy. Have a good night.